Hi, it's good to be with you. Blood type A. Which common and troubling diseases and conditions affect you, and how it is related to your blood type? Let's start with aging diseases. Researchers at the University of Sheffield in England found that you have less gray matter in the area of the brain that deals with memory formation, which gives you less protection against diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. You have a tendency towards high cortisol levels, which is linked to heart disease and lower immunity. Let's move on to allergies. Let's dive into asthma and hay fever. You normally produce more mucus than other blood types, and when you eat mucus producing food, you produce mucus in excess. If we look at your stress profile, you have high cortisol levels, which is why you develop stress-related asthma. And because you produce more mucus, it makes it worse. Let's look into autoimmune disorders. You have a tendency to develop a puffy arthritis, which is more acute rheumatoid form of the disease. It is painful, debilitating breakdown of multiple joints. With your immunological tolerance, if you develop this form of arthritis, it may be related to specific lectins that you eat in food. Your dysregulated cortisol metabolism gives you a poor coping mechanism for stress, and that is why you should follow a daily relaxation techniques and calming exercise. From research and clinical work, it has been found that chronic fatigue syndrome is rather a detoxification issue, which is caused by poor liver metabolism, because of which it is not able to neutralize harmful chemicals. You don't produce nitric oxide easily, which is why you have lesser inflammation and nerve cell death. Blood disorders. Type A's have the greatest number of pernicious anemia sufferers. It happens because of vitamin B12 deficiency, which you have the most difficulty absorbing. You have a lower level of intrinsic factor, and you don't produce as much stomach acid. You respond best when you're given B12 injection. When it comes to clotting disorder, you predominate. Your blood is thick, which is likely to induce inflammation in the arteries. Women might have problems with heavy clotting during menstrual periods if you don't control your diet. Several diseases like cancer, diabetes, and peripheral artery disease and stress have shown to increase your blood viscosity. You are more prone to cardiovascular diseases. You should practice stress reduction techniques such as yoga and Tai Chi. Cardiovascular disease. You have a higher risk for cardiovascular disease. And what is the high risk factor? It's high cholesterol. The causes are you have lower levels of alkaline phosphate enzyme, you have high levels of serum cholesterol and triglycerides. Take a look at your stress profile. Type A personality is characterized by excessive anger, anxiety, and aggression, which is associated with a greater incidence of heart disease. Childhood illnesses. Type A children are more susceptible to conjunctivitis. The reason is probably because of weaker immune system. Type A children are prone to Giardia lamblia, which is also known as Montezuma's revenge. It mimics your type A antigen and escapes a proper immune response. A factor in type A children ear infection is problem with mucus secretion because of improper diet. Dairy products are usually the culprit. These kids are more likely to have throat and respiratory problems, which can often move into years. What you need to understand here is the immune system of type A children are tolerant of a wide range of bacteria. What this means is it lacks the aggressive response to infectious organism, which is a big problem. And that is why you need to enhance immunity. To deal with hyperactivity and learning disabilities, you need to encourage your type A children to get involved in activities that encourage the development of sensory and tactile skills, such as sculpting or artwork, and from basic relaxation techniques such as deep breathing. The symptoms of strep throat, mononucleosis, and mumps are sore throat, malaise, fever, chills, headache, swollen glands, or swollen tonsils. But the good news is type A children contract strep throat less often. But when it does, it settles in and does not want to leave, causing repeated infections. You seem to be less susceptible to viral infection, mononucleosis. Let's look into diabetes. When it comes to diabetes, you are more prone to type 1 diabetes, which is caused by lack of insulin. You might want to add fava beans to your diet. Digestive illnesses. Common symptoms of celiac diseases are chronic diarrhea, weight loss, iron deficiency, and other evidence of nutrient malabsorption. Non-secretors are 200 times more likely to have celiac than secretors. Every blood type is susceptible to constipation. You should eat enough high-fiber food, drink enough water and juices. You should exercise regularly. Supplement your diet with fibrous, unprocessed bran. Digestive illnesses like Crohn's disease and colitis involves a major stress component. If you suffer from inflammatory bowel disease, you should pay careful attention to your stress patterns. You tend to develop more of a mucus colitis, which is not as bloody, which is the good news. You should follow blood type diet. You're more likely to fall prey to salmonella food poisoning. Once you're infected, it's harder for you to get rid of it from your system. The reason why you get gastritis is because you have very low stomach acid. You need to eat more acidic food choices in the blood type diet. Infections. Viral infections are less frequent and milder in your type. AIDS infection causes nausea, diarrhea, and mouth sores. It's a wasting disease. You need to consume enough calories. Don't eat meat, dairy, or food from avoid list of blood type diet. You should eat more tofu and seafood. You have more bronchial infection because your diet is not proper. Because you have excess mucus, it helps the growth of A-like pneumococcus bacteria, which is a blood type mimicking bacteria. When it comes to candidiasis, you tend to develop more yeast infection after antibiotic usage. You are more cholera resistant. Common cold and flu. There are hundreds of different strains of cold viruses. It would be impossible to see blood type specificity in all of them. But a study of British military recruits showed a slightly lower overall incidence of cold virus in type A recruits. You are resistant. You are susceptible to smallpox. Common mosquito seems to prefer type A secretors. You develop sinusitis occasionally as a result of eating highly mucus-forming diet. You respond well to diet changes. Parasites can live fairly well in anyone's digestive tract. They seem to show a special preference for your type digestive tract. It mimics the antigen and avoids being detected. Parasites like amoeba, giardia, lamblia, and tapeworm show a preference for your type. Tuberculosis in other parts of the body other than lungs shows high frequency in your type. Sarcoidosis or sarcoid shows higher frequency in your type. Rh negative individuals are more susceptible to both. Liver disease. A Japanese research team discovered that type A received a greater number of treatment for alcoholism. Infections, allergies, and metabolic disorders can cause liver damage. Jaundice is often seen in people with hepatitis. Gallstones is linked to obesity. Cirrhosis can be caused by infections, diseases of bile duct, or other illnesses that affect the liver. It's not fully understood why type A tend to have highest levels of gallstones, diseases of the bile ducts, jaundice, and cirrhosis of the liver. You are more susceptible to pancreatic tumors. What is more frequent in your type is common tropical infections of the liver causing fibrosis or scarring. Skin disorders. In the comments below, write your experience with blood type diet. Incidence of allergic skin reaction to chemicals or abrasives are highest in your type. Women and reproduction. Many disorders of pregnancy is a result of some form of blood type incompatibility. It's a critical factor in infertility. ABO incompatible couples, for example, a type A male fertilizing a type O female. An excess of type O women was found to suffer from toxemia, resulting possibly from a reaction to a type A or type B fetus. Many birth defects is due to blood type incompatibility, which may occur between a type O mother and a type A father. It showed a relation in many common birth defects like hydatidiform mole, chorocarcinoma, spina bifida, and anencephaly. Only the offspring of Rh negative women, which is a primary condition, is afflicted by hemolytic, which is a blood-destroying disease of the newborn. The blood group link to infertility is not yet fully established. In both European and non-European populations, the rate of female offspring are more frequent in type A babies born to type A mothers. Menopause affects every midlife woman. You should avoid using conventional estrogen replacement because of your unusually high susceptibility to breast cancer. Instead, you can use newly available phytoestrogens, which is derived from plants. The basic issue with most diseases is susceptibility or lack of resistance. Most microbes have the ability to mimic antigens, which overwhelms and takes control. And that is the reason why you see one person perfectly healthy while everyone else is falling sick with flu or cold. It's all about susceptibility. Thank you for hitting the like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for new videos. Thank you for watching. Be fabulous. Heal your body and mind. See you in my next video. Until then, take care.